What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Just finished watching the match, and Barcelona beat Real Valladolid by 2-1. Wasn't the most convincing fashion, of course. We had a fully rotated team. Valladolid are the worst team in La Liga. They've already been relegated. We beat them 7-0 the first time, and we went into halftime 1-0 down. Yet another game where Barcelona do not win by more than one goal. The streak of back in Xavi's day now continues into the present day under Flick. But overall, the important thing, of course, was 3 points. We only have now 4 or 5 games left of the season. It's just now about grinding it out and getting results. And yet again, the team making another remontada against Inter, remontada against Madrid, remontada against Vigo, and yet another one today against Real Valladolid. The starting lineup for this match is on the screen for you right now. It was Ter Stegen in goal, a back four of Heathford, Ronald Araujo, Andreas Christensen, and Gerard Martin, a midfield three of Pedri, Gavi, and Fermin Lopez, a front three of Daniel Rodriguez making his debut for the first team, Pau Victor, and Ansu Fati. From the Gala 11, from our best team, 10 players rotated in total, only Pedri being the natural starter in this match. So a fully rotated 11 for this game. The first goal scored in this match for Barcelona was scored by Raphinha. It was very well worked down the right hand side with Lamine Yamal, who put up across and trying to find Araujo. Araujo missed the header. Keeper comes out and punches the ball, drops right to the feet of Raphinha, and he pokes it and hits it into the open net, making the scoreline 1-1 and giving momentum and confidence for that comeback. The second goal scored in this match for Barcelona was scored by Fermin Lopez. Very well worked on the left-hand side for Barcelona. Gerard Martin again doing his trademark cross at the top of the box, and Fermin Lopez was there. The whole entire backline of Valladolid kind of dropped back. Free shot for Fermin around the penalty spot, maybe a bit behind it, and he buried it bottom right-hand corner to give Barcelona a 2-1 lead and complete another remontada. So overall, the team performance rating on the night, I'm going to be giving it a 7 out of 10. You could say generously, of course, that is above average. First half was crap, second half was decent pretty much. Especially with the starters coming in, it was expected that halftime change of Frankie and Rafa changed everything. Of course, the Daniel Rodriguez injury bringing on Lamine a bit earlier than probably expected also helped as well. Looked very dead in that first half an hour. The game was kind of going as expected. Of course, the goal we conceded was a huge Ter Stegen mistake in the end. But that 0-0 the first half probably was how the game and how the play was going. Second half, of course, looked much better. Again, you gotta credit the team again for a comeback. We've made comebacks pretty much every game now since April. We were down to Celta, we were down to Madrid in the cup final, we were down to Inter twice, we were down in this game, and we just keep making comebacks. Remontada is about to become our middle name at this point. But again, when the starters came in, you said the Barcelona turned up a level, and we did. We are facing the worst team in the league, so no real surprise there. Just the fact that we were 1-0 down is a bit of a bitter taste. Some players had some okay cameos, some players had some very poor cameos. I don't think anyone was really great on the evening per se. I think we kind of just stuck it out for that second half. Once we made the comeback, there's a bit less urgency. We still had a few chances, but no more, pushing everything forward to try and get the winner. Of course, the win is absolutely huge now, putting pressure on Real Madrid tomorrow, and of course, giving us a huge advantage in the Clasico. We can now lose the Clasico and still be the favorites and still have one hand on the league title. So that's a big result there. This game and the Celta Vigo game were so crucial. Both games where we were down losing. Huge for Barcelona to stay put in this title race. And of course, El Clasico, we'll wait and see what happens this weekend. But again, a loss, Barcelona can afford any result, of course. I think probably now a draw would be very nice for Barcelona. 4 points after the Clasico lead. You take that every single day of the week. But on this game, again, it was just, as expected. This is, we had this similar case last season. We had PSG in the Champions League quarterfinal, and then we had, I think, what was it? Las Palmas. Team started with the L. I forget what a team it was. So João Felix scored that kind of scissor kick. That was, of course, a fully rotated team as well. Just gotta thug those games out pretty much. That's pretty much what this game was. And the fact that we need the big boys to come in and kind of save the team was a bit, not frustrating, but a bit sad. I think that team that we started with was perfectly capable of getting a result against Vigo. Was definitely strong. It had some young talent, some, squad players, some youth, some experience. Really liked that starting lineup from Flick, but they did struggle quite a bit, especially in the final third. But once the big boy came in, they got the job done. So overall tonight, team performance rating will be getting a 7 out of 10. Let's now get into the players' individual player rating. We're going to start off with the captain the first team captain, starting for the first time since September, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen gives a very, and I mean very generous average 6 out of 10 for me. Of course, put us in the predicament in the first 10 minutes of the game. What the hell was he doing, man? I'm baffled to see a top goalkeeper not being able to recover from that moment. Again, the shot comes in, or the cross deflects, I think, off either Ansu or Araujo, and the second already jumps, but instead of, oh crap, the ball's going this way, let me actually, turn and go and try and get it, just stands there and watches it for a solid 6-7 seconds. Dreadful goalkeeping, but there was that game in the average score lines. He, of course, did make 2 big saves after that, the 1v1 in the first half, and also that the chance in the second half as well. I don't know if that was offside or onside, didn't really see the replay too clearly, but made some 2 big saves, had the 1 mistake, so I bounced it out to a 6. If you give him a 5, I wouldn't, bat an eye around it, but not the best of cameo from Ter Stegen. I think this match pretty much confirms that Szczesny till the end of the season, so let's hope that's the case. 6 out of 10 for me for Mark. In the center back partnership in front of him, first on the right hand side, it was Ronald Araujo. 7 out of 10 for me. Looked pretty strong. Again, had a few miss-ups, some silly challenges, silly fouls. Didn't make a mistake in this game, which was nice, whether it be passing or defending. Had some big blocks. Had a big defensive action in the first half. Had that, huge block in the second half near the end of the game as well. Had a very tidy performance. Really did rate it. Really liked it. Again, yes, he had some silly, fouls, but some of them were tactical. But I think on the ball, in the air, on the ground, defensive aspect, thought he had a very good game today, and he was definitely needed in this match as well. 7 out of 10 for the Uruguayo. Good cameo from him, in my opinion. Center back partner on the left-hand side was the first start of the season, or second start of the season, but second game of the season in Andreas Christensen. Also 7 out of 10 for me. Really like Christensen's performance today. I do miss him as well. I mean, it sucks that they were probably going to end up selling him this summer, but thought he had a needy performance. Of course, his yellow card was kind of in the air, elbow to the face. Not really part of the phase of play. I think in the game was very solid in the air, on the ground. His passing, again, you just realize when you see a player like Christensen how smart he is on the ball, and a player that if we had this season, especially during the November-December period where we had a lot of injuries, would have done absolute freaking wonders for us. But I think he had a really solid cameo today. Very impressed with him. I would be giving him a 7 out of 10. Into the fullbacks. Man. First in the right-hand side, Hector Fort. I've given Hector a 5 out of 10. Listen, Fort is one of my favorite players. I really do rate him. Hat sticker today. I thought he did okay in the second half. Looked much brighter. Had a nice little checkery in the box, but he did, step over in the roulette and hit the post. Had some good connectivity play as well with Lamine Yamal, but first half was so poor. His crosses couldn't be the first man. We're getting done for pace. I remember Fort being, strong defensive fullback. We didn't see any of that in this game. It's not looking good for him, bro. We're looking at a loan this summer at this point, because his cameo wasn't impressive whatsoever. Now I'm saying this as a huge Hector Fort supporter and Hector Fort fan. It wasn't that good from him. I was thinking about, finesse gave him a 6, but I have, some reputation and some dignity. I don't think it was away from him. He had, a nice little maybe 15-minute cameo in the second half, probably from the 60th to the 75th minute. He was doing okay, getting forward, making some overlapping runs, got in the box, had some shot creations and stuff like that, but was getting outpaced, getting, done a lot on transition. I think on the ball wasn't that great. Passes were being cut out. Crosses weren't being the first man. Not the best from him. 5 out of 10 from me. The other fullback on the left-hand side, the man of the match, according to La Liga, Gerard Martin, for me, gets a 6 out of 10. The only reason why I gave him a 6 is because he got the assist. I thought he was pretty much a 5 out of 10 performance this game. That first half was fucking embarrassing from him. And I can't believe he finessed us to think that, he might be semi-decent. I mean, he had a good month of what? Not even April. What's the month before April? March? That's pretty much it. This guy is so mid, so poor, nowhere near Barca quality. The only thing that he has that's good, that we've been talking about since preseason, is that cross into the top of the box, which of course led to the winning goal assist. Credit to him. That's his trademark. That's the only thing that he does that he does better than Balde. His crosses into the middle are very good, very lethal. The weight on the pass is pinpoint perfection, but that is the only thing he can do, and that's not good enough for 90 minutes as a left back for Football Club Barcelona. I thought he was meaty yet again, so poor, so lethargic. He has nothing in his game, in my opinion, that warrants even being in the Barcelona squad, let alone starting at left back. just don't rate him at all. 6 out of 10 for me. I don't know how the hell he got the leg up at the match. Into the midfield, first in the 6, it was Gavi. I will give Gavi a 7 out of 10. Looked really, really lively in that first half. In that first half, he's probably the one only semi-decent performer. Was getting stuck in, was getting, calls quite a bit. Remember, he was on a yellow card away from suspension in El Clasico, which would have been quite the heap of trouble, but he didn't get the yellow card in the end, but he was kind of close a few times, but was getting stuck in, was progressing the ball well, had some good passes, some good control. I just seen on my phone right now that this hopefully isn't a serious injury. He did go off holding his hamstring. I don't know if that's his hamstring or if it was just cramp. It could have been either way because the way he was holding his leg. I'm just gonna check Twitter super quickly because I don't think there's anything. I just seen like some notification that it wasn't too serious. But on his performance, thought he was tidy. Thought he did well. Only played about 70 minutes as well. He probably was the only one who had intensity throughout the whole entire game. If I'm being completely honest, in terms of consistency. This is just not loading for some sort of reason, so I might have to just skip by it. But I thought that he had a pretty solid game, especially with not having the too many minutes as of late. Here we go. Maybe we can get it here. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Oh, here we go. Gavi's okay. He's suffering just from overload. Okay, perfect. So it's just a cramp from Gavi. I was gonna say missing him out on him for Inter and the Clasico coming up. That intensity is just rare to find. So hopefully he is fit for that. And again, it's just a little bit of cramp. Thank God for that. So 7 out of 10 for Gavi. Thought he had a solid cameo in this game. Next up in the 8, bruv. We need to have a serious talk about Pedri. Love the guy. Ballon d'Or candidate. He's phenomenal, world class, best midfielder in the world this season. But the past few weeks, he's been meaty, man. I mean, I don't know if I'll get hate for this. Hopefully, people agree with me. But I just think that his weight of passes and his pass execution has been shocking the past few games. Whether it was against Real Madrid in the Cup final, Inter in the Champions League, this game, even against Celta Vigo. Of course, his tempo, his control, vision, awareness, off the ball play, on the ball play, interceptions, defensive work, fine. On the ball though, looking at passes, executing passes, gets caught out, intercepted, misplays, gets poked from behind and loses the ball. It's been consistent. Even in the Clasico, I was young about it. Even in the game against Inter, losing the ball a few times, his passes weren't really connecting. Again, on the ball, vision, movement, all fine, but serious questions, in my opinion, have to be asked about Gavi. I'm not saying drop him or anything like that, of course not, but he needs a talking to. Like, he's losing the ball too many times in the midfield, and it's costing Barcelona a lot, especially in attacking transition, like we saw against Inter, and like we saw in this game as well. I think we had literally crap, and they couldn't really, pounce on any of those mistakes, but they could have if they had some semi. If we were playing, Villarreal today, Sociedad, something like that, something a bit more harder, would have been some serious challenges, but not the best from Pedri today, in my opinion. Of course, only played 45 minutes as well. Give him a 5 out of 10. In the 10 was Fermin Lopez. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Of course, scored the winning goal. I think apart from the goal, just like Gerard Barton, was pretty meaty throughout this game. Loose passes, shots being blocked, not making the best decision making. I think he did hustle quite well in this game. I'll give him credit for that. He's keeping up with the intensity, the pressure of the game as well. Keeping up with the press on the ball and off the ball in that aspect. But I just think, creativity-wise, was a bit dead. Made some good runs, to be fair, where sometimes he would find the ball, sometimes he wouldn't from the passer, not from him per se, but not the best from him, but at least he got the winning goal. Again, the goal was very well worked on the one time, outside the box, bottom right hand corner, fantastic finish from Fermin, but I think his overall game could have been much better. Maybe I expect a bit better from him as well. Into the forward line, firstly on the right wing, of course it was Daniel Rodriguez making his debut. I was very excited, and unfortunately very let down. He wasn't that great. Of course, went off with that shoulder dislocation. Hopefully he'll be fine. Maybe not fine in the imminent future, but hopefully there's nothing too serious that will hinder his career. I still think he's a very good talent. He's a very good worker from what I've seen for the under 17 and 19s for Spain with Barca Athletic, a player that Flick really does rate, a player that's apparently going to be getting a first team number and will be part of the first team on a permanent basis next season. We saw some good moments from him. He had some good touches, some good flair, but shot, cuts inside, execution wasn't that great. Maybe getting his debut, a little bit of nervousness. I'm not, expecting 5 goals and 5 assists from him in this game, but if we're being honest with the performance, it wasn't the best from him, but much more to come, and I'm still very excited about the talent. Still think there's a really good player in there, and hopefully we get to see it in the near future, and hopefully he does recover well from that shoulder dislocation. Left wing, Ansu Fati, disappointing as my God. After that cameo against Mallorca, thinking, okay, Ansu, this is it now. Everyone's praying for an Ansu Fati goal this season. we ain't getting it, bro. The fact that he's playing is already crazy to me, but we ain't getting an Ansu Fati goal this season. But so poor. Loose touches, misplaced passes. He has some good shots. He had that first shot in the first half that was well saved. I thought that was going to be his goal, his moment. Apart from that one action, wasn't the best. He had a lot of shots that were blocked. Wasn't getting into space too well. Wasn't using his pace to advantage. When he cut inside, he'd lose the ball. When he tried to run down the byline, he'd lose the ball. It's a very frustrating watch from Ansu today. 5 out of 10 from me. Finally, up front, Pau Victor, 6 out of 10. Thought he played okay. He had, of course, 2 chances. He had the header and the bicycle kick. I mean, he was, in a graveyard shift in that first half. Nothing was coming his way. So the fact that he created 2 chances, I think, bodes well for him. In terms of the second half, doing a lot of good work off the ball. I want to give him credit for that. Of course, wasn't getting too many chances. Wasn't getting stuck in, per se, but as a striker, had 2 chances, did some good on and off the ball movement. Thought he was okay. So give him a cheeky little meaty 6 out of 10. No worries from me. Finally, now for the substitutions. The subs were Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, Frenkie de Jong, Dani Olmo, and Eric Garcia. Of course, Lamine was absolutely phenomenal in this game. He's playing against the worst team in La Liga, so as expected. Rafa, of course, got a goal. Big for him. I think De Jong put in a good cameo. Eric and Olmo kind of came in near the end. Didn't really get involved too much. Olmo had that great free kick that almost went in. Eric Garcia had some nice, strong, tidy passes. Frankie gave the ball away a little bit, but he had a lot of nice, good recoveries outside of the ones that he gave away. Rafa looked good on the left. Not, of course, as he would maybe with ball day at left back. Lamine was just, pure and utter cooking from him. So subs definitely 100% had a massive impact on the game, and you could even say dictated the fact of Barcelona completing a remontada and winning this game. And last but not the least is, of course, the manager, Hansi Flick, who tonight for me will be getting a 7 out of 10. I mean, shout out to him. He, of course, rotated the whole team, apart from Pedri, which, again, I didn't mind because Pedri's kind of a player that needs to play. Made the halftime sub to really go for the game. We were down 1-0. He still realizes and recognizes that the win was very important. And his subs were quite smart as well, taking off. Who do you take off at halftime? Ansu Fati and Pedri as well. So Pedri getting the rest for Frankie, both of them playing 45 minutes, and of course Ansu wasn't doing that well, so Rafa came in for 45 minutes. I think he managed the team super well today. Got the win as well, coming back from a losing position. Hopefully realizing this game that Ter Stegen ate it. I don't want to see Ter Stegen play another game unless we've already have La Liga wrapped up and you want to give him some, baby minutes. Even then, I still wouldn't give Ter Stegen any more minutes this season. Hopefully he learned a few things in this game as well. That Ansu's cooked. Danny still has a few promising more. Christian Arujo, I think, has solo cameos, so they're going to be big for us in that Champions League game against Inter, in my opinion. But I think overall, managed the game well. Got the win, of course. No clean sheet, no win by 1 goal, but don't want to hone in on that too much from him. I think, based on the run of play, how he selected the team, I think everything went according to plan, barring being 1-0 down, pretty much. So, strong from Flick tonight, 7 out of 10 from me. So that's a match review for Real Valladolid versus Barcelona in La Liga. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well. Let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your thoughts on the performance, your player ratings, and your manager rating as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on the channel. Take care, and Forza Barca.